accidentally wore a $30 dress to a millionaire's dinner party. What happened taught me everything about true wealth. Last year, my roommate invited me to a dinner party hosted by her boss, a tech CEO worth hundreds of millions, she whispered. With just hours to prepare, I panicked, bought a simple black dress from Usin for $29.99, the only thing in my budget. Walking into the waterfront mansion that evening, I immediately felt out of place. Women in designer gowns glided across marble floors while security guards with earpieces monitored the room. I clutched my cheap purse closer, certain everyone could tell I didn't belong. During cocktail hour, I hid in corners, nodding politely when spoken to. Then a petite older woman in a stunning red dress approached me. "First time at one of Robert's parties?" she asked kindly. I nodded, admitting I was my roommate's +1, and feeling completely overwhelmed, she laughed warmly and linked her arm through mine. "I'm Margaret. Let me introduce you to some people who won't bore you to tears with Cooley talk." Margaret seemed to know everyone. She introduced me to artists, writers, and even a famous director who spent 20 minutes discussing my favorite films. When I complimented her dress, she twirled playfully. 15 years old. Can you believe it? I've worn it to every important event since my daughter's wedding. At dinner, I was seated beside Margaret, and across from a man in an impeccably tailored suit who kept checking his watch, a timepiece I later learned cost more than my annual rent. When he asked what I did, I reluctantly admitted I was a kindergarten teacher. "How refreshing," he said dismissively before turning to discuss yacht maintenance with someone more important. Margaret leaned over. "Don't mind Richard. He's been trying to buy happiness for 40 years and still hasn't found the right store." She winked as the evening progressed. I noticed Margaret was treated with unusual deference. Even our host, Robert, kissed her cheek and pulled out her chair personally. When dessert arrived, Margaret asked about my kindergartners, listening intently to my stories while others discussed stock portfolios. She shared teaching techniques her mother had used in the rural school where she taught for 40 years. Only when leaving did my roommate whisper, "Do you know who you've been talking to all night? That's Margaret Winters, Robert's mother. She donated $50 million to education initiatives last year." The next morning, a package arrived at my apartment. A handwritten note from Margaret. "Dear Emily, your passion for your students was the highlight of my evening. This dress brought me luck for 15 years. Perhaps it will do the same for you." Inside was the red dress she'd worn along with a check from my classroom. I still wear my mousty dress to fancy events. It reminds me that true wealth isn't what you wear, it's recognizing the value in others when no one else is looking.